Hello and welcome to Coming Home with Mama T. I'm your host, Tiara, aka Mama T. And on this podcast, we explore the journey of creating the life of our desires through mastering manifestation, maintaining a positive mindset, and living luxuriously. Today, we have a very special guest. We have Jyoti joining us, and Jyoti is known professionally as Geet and is a self-published author renowned for her exploration of taboo subjects within South Asian communities. Recognizing a notable absence of Punjabi representation in literature, she embarked on a mission to rectify this disparity by featuring Punjabi protagonists in her works. With a total of 11 published books to her credit, Geet's literary contributions are readily accessible to readers worldwide through the Amazon platform. For further insights into her background and literary endeavors, interested individuals are encouraged to visit Geet's official website at geetwrites.card.co. Hello, Jyoti. Or would you prefer to be called Geet?
Geet, yeah.
Geet, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And yeah, tell me a little bit about what got you into writing in the very beginning.
So I was actually facing depression, time of depression, when my uncle and his family had moved here March 6th of 2021. They moved from India, and I was born and raised in California. So our values, our beliefs, our mindsets, even though we're both Punjabi, is very different. Growing up with I went to school here, so I kind of had those values, beliefs, and even though and my parents too, they never were very traditional in the sense of no, you can't do this, you can't do that. But so, and then he came over and he was very controlling of his daughters, very um we just had so much clashing going on. So The Chaos Within Us, my debut novel, it was kind of that healing for me, because Niti's story, just the aspects of everything she went through with her uncle, is my story, right? But then everything else is fictional, because I do write fictional romance novels.
Ooh, I love that. So I take it you're a big reader as well.
I am, definitely. I was going to show you my books, but then they're all over there. But yeah.
I love it. What would you say is your favorite genre?
I love romance, reading romance. I explored fantasy for a little bit. I did I love the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. And I think Stephanie Gerber, she's the author of those, and she just did amazing. Her Horrible series, her Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I just fell in love with her writing. Avatar was the only fantasy that I had read, with SJM books and stuff. But now I'm just no, girl. Now she's a 3, and Stephanie's a 5 out of 5 for me. And I'm learn from her, please. Go learn from her.
I love that. And I love writing in the sense of loving to create or utilizing it to visualize what I'm looking to create in my life. Have you ever utilized writing for manifestation?
Scripting purposes in that sense, but writing. And so what I realized actually is some of the things that I wrote to my characters ended up happening to me, getting sick, or this would happen, or oh, this problem. And then so when I realized that, I started writing better things for my characters, and I was okay, if you want to play, let's play then.
I love that. Can you give us a specific example?
Of the negative or of the positive?
Either way.
Okay, so I think in one of my books, Whisked Away, this character had trouble with food, trouble eating, and she had to get a nutritionist. And then I kind of had the same thing happen later in Whisked Away. After I wrote Whisked Away, I'm I'm gonna need a dietitian.
Well, that's so
as you mentioned, I like to cover topics that nobody really talks about. So whether that be domestic abuse, domestic violence, eating disorders, women's health, fibroids, endometriosis, anything of that sort. I want to put it out and be and it's not a self-help book. It is a romance book. It'll be a chapter of the book. It'll be a paragraph or two in the book, and it's just being talked about,
right.
More of it.
Understood. Understandable question. Okay. So, in that same vein, have you ever, I guess, because intuitive hit came in. So embodiment. How do you feel about embodiment? Have you done any embodiment work?
Could you explain what that is?
Yeah, certainly. So embodiment is like you're witnessing the world around you and you're taking it into your physical self. So in hearing you talk about how sometimes you'll write something for your characters and then it manifests into your experience, then in terms of like their health and that kind of thing, working on creating in the bad sense it would be like creating a shield so you're not embodying, you're not taking on what your character is or feeling into their actual experience, like you're allowing the story to be their story that you're just trying to share, so rather than like wanting to have to experience that story. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's one thing that I've like started to do is put that shield, I guess, where it's like, okay, they're fictional and they're just gonna have this aspect of things. Because the recent one I did, the Billionaire's Gambit, was a reverse billionaire trope. So
Ooh,
that basically means that the female is the billionaire, not the guy.
I love that.
So,
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Yeah, strong independent women.
Yes, and she's like her book, she's a meditation teacher, she's a manifestation coach, she has podcasts and she kind of like manifested this life for herself, and she's like this billionaire tycoon now, and like his job as the journalist, like he's just a simple journalist, right? Is to pose as like a high-end real estate agent and get like the dirt on her, but then like he ends up like kind of falling for her, so he's kind of like, okay, career or love, like, so he's stuck there because he can't let her find out who he actually is either, and then he does need to
Oh.
keep his career too, so
Wow, that's juicy. I like that. And what's the title of that book?
the billionaire's gambit.
The Billionaire's Gambit. Ooh, that sounds fun. And it's already published, available on Amazon, correct?
Yeah, it's actually my most recent one. It just came out April 25th, 26th, around there.
Oh, wow. Fresh. I love that. Beautiful. So what has been your favorite book that you've written so far?
I think this one was fun to write because one, it was more like there's a line in the book that says this comeback is personal, and that's literally kind of what happened to me. Like this
Mhm.
comeback, this book was never supposed to be written. I feel like, like I mean it was gonna be written eventually, but I had so much like anxiety that I just never went back to writing the book, and I just like I literally deleted my book, and I mentioned that in another podcast. Like I think, yeah, I just deleted everything. And then I kind of just went to meditation class. I went to therapy, and then I learned, and that's why a lot of like things in that book, manifestation advice, like podcast things that she says basically in there are literally coming from me and like things that I've experienced as well. So I think that's why that comeback was so, this book was my personal comeback. And that's why that dedication is to everyone that learned to love themselves again.
Oh, that's beautiful. There's so much power in coming into to loving ourselves. Can you talk a little bit about that journey that you've had personally?
Oh yeah, definitely. So like 2023, I think was just like, and a lot of people say this too. I'm surprised. Like on Instagram and TikTok, everybody's like, yeah, no, 2023 was the worst for my mental health. And I think hopefully 2024 is good to everybody. But I started meditation classes. I like was doing therapy. Um, I'm like trying to go to like community classes,
Mhm.
like socialize more, just not be like stuck in a room, keep writing, being a guest on podcast, just like stuff that I could do that like I want to make sure that I do do. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm literally in the middle of reading You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And one of the things that I heard, because I listened to it on Audible, and one of the things I heard before this podcast or coming on to record was that we can change what I like from saying like I should do blah 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 blah, fill in the blank of whatever that thought is, and changing it to I could do. And I thought that was super powerful because I'm one of those people that will be like, well, I should eat better, I should,
Yeah.
work out more, I should do this, I should do that, and that puts us in a place of like guilt and shame and
Yeah.
and anger, all of those things. And it's not a very uplifting and expansive vibration. But I could do this, and that gives us like the space to have choice. And the space to love ourselves in a different way. Like even if we're telling ourselves to do the same exact thing, it just feels a lot more free and just like, oh, well, maybe I could eat healthier or I could do this, but maybe right now I do want to have like the slice of cake, but I might put some fruit with it. And like that gives me
Right.
more space to shift a little bit without getting self-deprecating in the moment, which I love. So I love that you just said that I could do this because it just like triggered that.
Yeah, definitely. And I have like my book open and like if you want to quote or anything, I like have it open in the back.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Like how you're saying I could like literally on Thursday meditation class, I was just like, oh, I was asking my friend if she wants to hang out like sometime this week, and she's like, oh, I'll check my schedule. And I was like, girl, at least you have a job. I'm like, I'm just an author. And she's like, you're not just an author, you are an author. And then something about like I am. And then our meditation teacher heard us and he's like, yes, I am statements are so powerful.
Yes, 100%. I am. And I love that your friend pointed out the just part so we can
Yeah.
like, remove that from our vocabulary because I think it's such a thing. I feel like in society for all of us to just kind of say I'm just this or whatever and like get into that self limiting and deprecating and talking negatively about ourselves and we to a point that we don't even notice it. It's just such an unconscious behavior, but then we have the opportunity to be the author of our own lives
Yeah.
and take it out whenever we want to.
Right?
Yes, I love that. So not only are you a author of books, but you're an author of your life.
Right. Yes.
So powerful. Mm. So since you said you have your book open, pull a quote out. I'm interested.
Okay, so like two things. Like she's doing her podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, that she has like this podcast that she kind of worked on, and like the meditation, and like she's a guide, manifestation coach. Like she has YouTube videos, and like she kind of just manifested this life. So she's doing like a live Q&A, and this is after like she is like just engaging with her audience and stuff, right? So it says, I'm just gonna read like that whole scene. It's
Yeah.
so it says, I'm almost 30 and I've never dated. It's too late. I read the comment aloud. Just and then her answer is, just when you think it's too late, that's when the universe whispers, we don't use the same watch. So there's that one. And then so just have faith. Your person is out there. The universe is always working in our favor. I advised and realized it's advice that I also needed. And then the next one was, I keep trying to get this guy to notice me and he won't. Any advice? I read another comment aloud. Whatever you chase will run away from you. You attract the right things when you know who you are. Always remember, the universe is like a cat. If you keep going towards it, it'll run in the opposite direction. But if you sit and wait, the cat will come to you.
Ooh, all such big, beautiful quotes. I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
The watch one. That's so good because, I know for myself, I find that the more I want something and I'm trying to like condense my timeline, if you will, make it manifest faster, make it show up, that's when it seems to just like elude me. Again, it goes also back to the cat of like the more you chase it, and then so both times it's like if I just like sit down, chill, relax, allow, it shows up and that's when the time is condensed, not when I'm like actually trying to like rush it and force it.
Yeah, and that's kind of like towards the epilogue, that's when she says too, like, so you are manifesting when you just know so you're manifesting when you just know it's coming and you are having fun and you just don't care about the when and how.
Yes, have fun.
Yeah, you have to like just let it law of detachment, which I'm like having the hardest time with, by the way. Law of detachment.
I heard that. So in talking about law of detachment, can you give your understanding of that universal law?
Yeah, like put it out in the universe, put your intentions out, and then just like forget it, like go do something else. Like for me, like right now, I lost my ring. So I'm just like, okay, it'll show up because I know I lost it at home, right?
Right.
And I'm like, it'll show up. So I just like wear my other ring and I'm like, you know what? When that one comes, I'll take this one off. That's it. Like I just put another one on. I'm like, okay, time to move on. That one will show up when it wants to.
Oh, that's perfect. That's so funny because I literally had the same thing happen to me like a month ago.
Wow.
Where, like so perfect and synchronistic and the same thing. I just like I don't know. I remember going out or whatever that night, and I put my jewelry in just random places when I got home, and I
Yeah.
was like, well, that was silly of me. And then because I have like a selenite bowl that normally put all of my jewelry in when I'm done with whatever, and for whatever reason I didn't put my jewelry in there, and then the next day when I went to put all my jewelry on, I couldn't find my ring. And I was like, where is it? I don't know. Da, da, da. And then I was just like, it'll show up when it's ready. It'll be fine. Everything is perfect and whatever. And maybe, the work for that ring is done and I can move on. And so whatever happened. And next thing you know, I find it like in the most awkward, like it was underneath a bunch of like my what I call my altar where I have all my crystals and stuff, and I like go to
Yeah.
it daily. And I have been to it daily and I did not find it the first like couple like for like 2 weeks, and then it was just like underneath, and I was like, why are you here?
Right? Literally.
Like I've like literally looked at you for 2 weeks and I just now didn't notice you. So it's so perfect when we like let it go. And I think the biggest thing was like for the first couple of days I was like actively looking for it, and then eventually when I was just like, it'll show up when it's ready,
Yeah. That's
and
yeah.
there it is, and boom,
Yeah.
and that's when it shows up.
I just got dating apps yesterday. I had them back in November too, but then like I was going through seasonal depression. And I was like, do I want someone because of my depression or am I ready? Whereas now
Mhm.
it's like springtime and I'm like, okay, now I know that I am ready, that I do. And I'm not getting any matches that are like sticking out to me. So now
Yeah,
it's like I'll just go on it like once in a like I think I go on it for like 5 minutes maybe a day and I'm just like, nope, nope, nope. And then I'm like, you know what? Put it away. When the right match will come, it'll come.
exactly. And same boat where I too, like, I'll do the same thing of like, okay, like I'll show up for myself in the sense of like, yes, I'm letting the universe know that this is something that I'm still interested in. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm getting on. And then if I see someone of interest, cool, I can swipe. But if, not, then like, all right, cool. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make me mean. I think that's the big part of detachment for me is making sure that I don't give it any sort of value. Like, not that it does
Yeah.
not matter, but like it's, that it doesn't mean anything negative about me if exactly what I'm looking for, it doesn't show up. And I think that's the biggest
Yeah.
lesson is that it's all working out for me. Everything is perfect. It's on, the universe is on its own timeline. It has its own watch. And,
Lucky girl syndrome.
yes. So like just like let it show up in its perfect timing. And I also like to think of it as like a cake, right? And so if you
Yeah.
take it out too soon, it'll like deflate in the middle, and it's not,
Yeah.
I mean, it might taste good, but it's like the whole presentation is just off, and it's just not exactly what you were looking for. But if you allow it its time and to like really rise and like, allow it time to cool so you can put the frosting on it, and you allow it
Yeah.
all of that, then you can have this beautiful presentation that's exactly what you're looking for, and it tastes amazing, and it's the full experience that you're looking for. So I'm like, all right, my cake's still baking. I got to put it back in the oven. I poked it with a toothpick, and there was stuff still on it, so it wasn't ready yet. So I'm
Yeah.
just allowing the universe to keep baking that cake.
Right? Literally, I love that. I love that. Like a lot of people have told me like Delulu is the Salulu. Like being delusional is actually like a solution. And I've seen so many people just like say things like on YouTube or and podcasts too. Like one girl was like, my friend kept saying, I'm gonna get a job in October. I'm gonna get a job in October. She got the job in October, but if she didn't set that like deadline for October, she probably could have gotten it before, but also afterwards too, right?
Right.
And then also like one person like that was on YouTube, and that's when I like started learning about like manifestation and being more spiritual. And she's like, I'm gonna get engaged this year. I'm gonna actually get engaged this year, and she actually got engaged.
I love it.
And I'm just like, well, let me try it. You know,
Yes.
try this.
Delulu, and for those who might not know, like the Delulu phrase, Delulu is like delusional. So like
Delusional.
basically saying something that is not, and I mean, I feel like it also aligns with like, affirmations, right? If you can say I am a millionaire, the biggest part about like the affirmation is that you believe it. And that's why people say like Delulu is a Salulu, because
Right?
it's considered delusional to say something that's not physically in our space. But if we're energetically trying to align with that actual solution, if you will, then yeah, others might call us delusional, but we're really just like anchoring into that affirmation, that belief.
I feel like a lot of people that are, I don't know about you, but like that are spiritual. Are you spiritual? Yes.
Yeah.
Are you religious? Okay, so yeah, like there's so yeah, like a lot of people, for us, like people that are spiritual, they're like, yeah, you are just delusional, like, in general. And I'm just like, well, my manifestations are coming. The universe is blessing me. I'm grateful for everything that I have. I don't know about you.
Exactly. And
I'm
it's
like, it's
it's
working.
it's working and it's great. And you see more, and I notice also like with our community too, the more you lean into these mindset tools, these uh broadening our experience and seeing life as like a playground and all of these things, the people around us start to shift and change.
Oh
And
yes.
you find people who are actually in like have similar thought processes, and you can have those deeper conversations, and we can talk about spirituality and duality of life and all of that good stuff. And it's so powerful, and it just makes life even more extraordinary.
Oh yeah, no, I 100% agree with that statement because um I just turned 29 on April 5th.
Woo.
So thank you. And this birthday like literally stands out as one of the best ones because like I had that energy shift, right?
Hmm.
Because I started like meditations and I started like manifestations and just like aligning with my higher self, right? Doing like yoga and all that, like anything, opening the chakras. And literally, I kid you not, there was not one friend here. And this is my first time that my friends, because this is like a new friends group, met each other
Hmm.
and everybody just clicked. And I told my therapist, and she's like, why wouldn't they? Like, why wouldn't they? Your energy is like aligned to bring these friends together. So, like, it would work. Like, it's your energy that brought everyone together.
It's so perfect and so wonderful. And I'm so glad. And yay, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you have another, do you have another book coming out?
I'm working on a series right now. I don't even know the name of the series, but I'm gonna take it like so I already wrote 12 books that are published, and now I'm just like, holy shit, like we might actually just go to like 18 or 17 or with the series, because there's gonna be 4 books. There's 4 couples that are gonna each get their own love story.
I love that.
One of them is gonna be a second chance romance. The one I'm working on right now is like an enemies to lovers, first proximity, arranged marriage trope. And then
Ooh.
there's gonna be like one of them. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do with the other 2. Like I'm like not sure, but I do know 2 of them. But I know where I'm gonna kind of go with the story. And my romances are clean. They are clean romances. So I know a lot like smut sells. And I hate that smut is what sells because I'm just like, well, I'm not comfortable writing that.
Yeah, of course. And
So
that's totally fine.
yeah, that's kind of what I write. And that's why I do like podcasts and like everything in the hopes that somebody will pick up one of my books that likes clean romances. But they are like some scenes that'll kind of give away that it's going to be a closed door scene.
Oh, okay. I love that. That's wonderful. And so for those who are interested in reading these books, the links are gonna be provided in the show notes. So you can always go there to check it out and download. And of course, Amazon. So that's
Oh, and I was
wonderful.
gonna say they're gonna come out each season. Um,
Ooh,
so July. Well, you said this podcast will be out like July-ish, right?
yes.
So, like the first day of summer, that'll be like probably around the time the first one comes out, May, June. Oh wait, no, June is the first day of summer. June, July,
Yes.
August. Yeah. So it'll probably be out before this one, June or July. And then first like around fall, that one will come out, and then winter, and then spring. So it'll be like a whole year wait for book 4, because right now it's spring, and then it'll come back out in spring.
I love it. I love that. That's beautiful. And about how long are your books?
It really depends, but most of them are about 180 to 200 pages. I think the last one I wrote was like 120 pages only. It's like 76 pages as a Google Doc. So
Awesome. Fantastic. I love it. Is there
the
anything
one
else
that's
that
the most is the Chaos Within Us, because that one I was just writing and writing and writing, and like I didn't know shit. So like if you go on Amazon for the Chaos Within Us, it's like the very very first book that I wrote. So the reviews are not that good because like
Mhm.
obviously I didn't get an editor. Like I'm an indie author. I didn't know a lot of things, right?
Right.
So I kind of went through like Grammarly, and I was like, okay, let me just make sure that this is fine. And then when I got into the thing of writing, I re-released The Chaos Within Us. like
Okay.
in first person, dual point of view, but there's still some like things that I missed and the editor missed that it like says that he said, but it'll be in like first person. I'm like, damn it. So like, yeah.
That's all good and wonderful. So, for anyone that is maybe wanting to start writing themselves and start writing their book, what would be your like number one recommendation to get started?
Just do it.
Just do
Honestly,
it.
just do it. Yeah. Because like in like school, they teach you, you know, you need a beginning, middle, end. I just go in and I literally am like, this is the plot in my head. And this is what I'm gonna write. Like right now, the book I'm writing, like I wrote their like fight scene and then I kind of wrote their like ending. And then I was like, okay, I need to go back and write the beginning and then I need to add into this.
So you don't write in like chronological order. You just kind of what you feel like, and then you make it all flow together.
Yeah, if you're gonna write in chronological order, writer's block is gonna hit you constantly. Then you're not gonna want to do it, and then you're gonna be like, "Fuck writing, I don't want to do this."
Yes. I love it. So get out there, just do it right as it comes, no pressure.
This
Beautiful.
book actually right now that I like got as a birthday gift. It's like very thin, but it's also like Amazon. Like I can just tell because this is the format that KDP shows, and it's by an indie author too. And he just like it seems like he just wrote, and it's a very 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 small book. It's only 68 pages long. So that's why I'm just like, do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Is there any other advice or anything else you would like to share with our audience today?
See, I wish I had my like quotes that I could just find, and maybe I can like leave you guys with like a quote or something. So
yeah.
Oh no, I did something to your Zoom meeting. Okay, so this is like the scene where it's like kind of towards the very very beginning of the book, and her maid kind of comes in. So you have to remember, like, she doesn't really have she does have a mom, but her mom has abandoned her. So her maid is kind of like taking on that mom role as well. And she's just saying like, oh, I don't think I'm ready today because after my ex-boyfriend, like this and that happened, right? So it says, she sat beside me, offering wisdom born of experience. If you doubt any aspects of your life, whether it's money, relationships, or careers, it sets off a chain reaction of hesitation, self-sabotage, and missed opportunities. You need to visualize yourself succeeding, or else the vision will slip away. And she added, when the time is right, you feel your heart race with the possibility of the marriage you desire, without a flutter of butterflies, you'll know it's meant to be.
I love that. Very deep. Thank you for sharing.
Of course, because everybody's like, oh yeah, like I'm getting butterflies in my stomach, and I'm like, butterflies are not good. That is your nervous system telling you to run away. You need someone like that'll calm your nerve. You do not want to feel the butterflies.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point, right? Because that's like an instant, just like contraction kind of feeling in the body. But when we think about looking for lifelong love, then someone that's going to bring you peace, someone that you're going to be able to share those moments with and have something deeper, which I think is amazing.
Right. And then I actually learned that because I like never dated. Like that is one thing about my parents though. They were always like, no boyfriend, no boyfriend. And now they're like, why are you not dating? And I'm just like, man,
it's your fault. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that is one thing that I am working on with my therapist too, and like a life coach, and it's in healing that inner child to like be able to go on dates and stuff. And so I learned through like TikTok and Instagram, and that like that's when I learned that your body physically is rejecting someone. But then I also learned that your body will also react to the right person. Like your appetite will increase, your skin has color to it, you're just happier.
Yeah.
Your body's like, it knows, it's like, no. You got to listen to your feeling.
It's so intuitive. We just have to listen to the body. I love that.
Yes. And that's why I'm just like rejecting guys, because I'll be like, no. Or they'll like post something like, I watch football all Sunday long, and I'm like, no. I cannot be like
with someone that's going to spend all Sunday just watching football. Because like when you're a couple, you only kind of have like the weekend,
Right.
you know? And then it's like, okay, I'm working and then I got a meal plan, like I gotta make dinner, or and then boom, it's like time to go to sleep again.
Right.
You know? So it's like, okay, well, Sundays are gone, so we only get Saturdays. Is that what you're trying to say? You know?
Yeah, it's important. That quality time is very important. So being able to like set up that kind of conversation and expectation of what is it gonna look like for us to spend time together.
Right, exactly.
Mm, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. All right, friends. Thank you so much for listening, your time, and your energy. Remember, you can always go to www.mamateenergy.com to book your own sessions and all that good stuff. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and all the links that you're going to need are going to be in the show notes. Thanks again for listening and have a magical day.